What it do? What it do? These early morning things again. On my way to St. Pete. On my way to St. Pete. It's been a heck of a weekend and a new week, you know. It's been feeling good, roasting these Ohio State fans. Woo, it's been fun, you know, I've been watching all their content. They so sad, they don't know what to do. They really thought Harbaugh being suspended and all that stuff, and I touched on it when in my Ohio State pregame video. They didn't really take in, a lot of the Ohio State fans didn't really take into account what was going on. Yeah, I'm ready for the Natty too. I'm ready, but they got to do the work. But a lot of them didn't understand that Michigan's harder games were at the end of the season. So when they saw us beat Penn State and not just blow them out, when they saw us struggle a little bit with Maryland, and then they had Minnesota and Michigan State at the end of the year, two teams we also blew out, they just kind of figured they were better than us now. They were figuring Kyle McCord took the next step. And I touched on it in my pregame video that he hasn't taken the next step. Y'all just playing easy teams. Like, that's pretty much all it is. You know what I'm saying? Only difference is y'all got Travion Henderson, he's breaking off long runs. We stop him, ball game. We stop him from getting them long runs, say goodnight. And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Now they hoping, wishing, and praying that a bunch of teams lose. And somehow ESPN's predictor has them at 40%. Yeah, right. Their percentage of getting in the playoff is about 5%. They ain't got no real chance of getting in this year. And I said that before the season. They wasn't going to have no real chance. I was a tough team, bro. I don't know why you acting like I was not tough. I was a tough defensive team. You know what I'm saying? Not offensively, but on defense, them boys can fly around and hit. Like, they play fundamentally sound, tough, good, or great defense. It just is what it is. So you got to, regardless, you got to come out and execute. But, you know, I know you think we're going to blow out everybody regardless, and, you know, I know you. But, yeah, the playoffs, I ain't too much worried about it right now because we just got to knock out Iowa and we're in. I leave that all that worry is about for Ohio State because they know they probably not going to get in, and they probably don't deserve to get in too, honestly. You know, but that's why I wanted to touch on Ohio State though. So we got another report from Stalions. Stalions recorded 3 Ohio State games this year. Buckeye scoop. Isn't it just so convenient that after Michigan beats Ohio State, we get another? Now we got to report that Michigan Stalions recorded 3 Ohio State games this year. Isn't it just convenient after we beat them that comes out? Why didn't that come out before the game? You know what I'm saying? A week before the game for the build-up. Soon as we beat them, now it's a report that he recorded 3 games. Like, bro, this Stallion stuff is hilarious. Bro, I laid out the stats in my video. I know Iowa's quarterback is trash, but they still pack a hard hat on defense. So you got to execute. You got to execute. You know, they still packing that hard hat on defense. You can play some defense. And I'm a defensive player. I'm a defensive player or type of dude. So, you know, I can always appreciate a team that knows their offense is trash, but they bring in that hard hat and they go, well, I'm not saying Iowa's defense is this, but like the Ravens, what was that, 2000 Ravens. We're going to have to win 10-6. We're going to have to win 7-3. We're going to have to win 14-10. We're going to have to win we're going to have to win 10-7. You know what I'm saying? I can always appreciate a defensive team like that, you know. And it's true, their offense is abysmal and all that, you know. But I just don't take anyone lightly. I just don't do it, really. Unless they're just horrible on both sides of the ball. Then what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? But and if Bama, I mean, the problem I got with the playoff, and I've had it for the last 2 years for sure, they hype Ohio State up. Ohio State had they're predicted to make the playoff at a 70, 80, 90% clip. They're predicted to make the playoff and all this stuff and whatever. We beat them. Georgia plays middle of the pack team, and yet we still don't get to be number one. That really bothers me that they don't put us at number one. Like, I know it doesn't, like, bro, like, why do y'all devalue our win over them? Like, to me, they devalue it, because if you beat a team that's number 2, number 3, number 4, you're supposed to get a boost in the rankings, like, boom, okay, they just dominated the number 2 team, the number 3 team, the number 4 team. You're supposed to get shot up to number 1 because you just proved it. Georgia ain't played nobody, so why are they still number 1? Y'all had Ohio State number 1 because they got lucky against Notre Dame, and then they dominated Penn State. Okay, we dominated Penn State. We dominated Ohio State. Why aren't we number 1? To me, it don't make sense. It's like they devalue our win over Ohio State because they don't think we should beat them. They don't think we should beat Ohio State, so we'll just leave you at number 2. That's enough. Like, what? Yeah, to see Iowa go 10-2 the way they did, and not having Cade, not having Eric All, their backup, he's abysmal. It's quite crazy. I was looking at that schedule when I made my video. I was like, this is crazy. This is unbelievable. Like, they real deal had old school Big Ten scores. Like, it's just crazy. But that's what coaching and a defense that's bringing it every game can do for you. We'll win it ugly and low scoring. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they doing. The Michigan, the playoff, because I'm gonna be like Stephen Brown. I mean, we all pretty much know we probably gonna beat Iowa. I mean, we'd have to have a bunch of bad things happen. Knock on wood, they don't, because anything can happen in any game. TCU, you know what I'm saying? But as far as who gets in the playoff, man, this is a crazy year, and that's why I said you got to win the game. You got to win it this year, or you're gonna be in an ugly position. Because I knew it was gonna be a bunch of good teams this year. Honestly, if I have to pick who to play, who not to play, I wouldn't want to play Oregon. That spread offense, they play defense. And I think Oregon kind of tough too, honestly, watching them. I do think they kind of tough. Morning. Yeah. Who else? Washington. I think Oregon's gonna beat Washington, so Oregon's in. I think. Who's that? I honestly think Florida State's gonna beat Louisville. I haven't watched Louisville, so maybe I'm wrong. But I think Florida State's team, even though they've got their backup quarterback, I think their team is good enough to beat Louisville. I could be wrong. Now that's the game that Ohio State fans are gonna be wishing, hoping, and praying. Because if Bama beats Georgia, they both might probably will get in. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, if Florida State loses to Louisville, it brings some hope for Ohio State. But Texas, if Texas beats Oregon, who's that? Oklahoma State or Oregon State, whoever they playing, Texas should get in also. Yeah. To me, Ohio State has to have a bunch of teams. Has to have Washington win, Georgia win, Florida State lose, and Texas lose. So that's gonna be on them. But the team, I'm just ready to get through this Iowa game so they can get healthy. Guys that aren't healthy, like JJ, get Blake some rest, get this team healthy. And the big thing is Harbaugh has to prepare this team. He needs to prepare them a little bit different than he's been doing. I mean, that's just what it is now. You've had two playoff flops. And you flopped in a bunch of other bowl games. So you got to do something different. You got to do something different to make sure this team is locked in and focused. And you can't take anybody for granted. I think part of it was Michigan just started reading their press clippings last year and just kind of assumed they were going to beat TCU. And then TCU hit them in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? They just assumed that, they got that 3-3-5, we're going to be able to run it down their throat. And TCU hit them in the mouth. And then JJ had the picks and so on and whatever, So the thing is, you get a matchup like Florida State. That's another matchup. If Florida State gets in, that's a matchup where you could start feeling yourself because they got a backup QB and the media is going to be saying, Michigan is going to blow Florida State out. Michigan's going to be blowing Florida State out. You know what I'm saying? So a matchup like that, you have to, it don't matter if they got their quarterback, they back up, they starter. We taking them serious and we coming to prove that we are the best team. Ain't nobody going to hand you no trophy. That's the thing about it. Ain't nobody going to hand you, Iowa ain't finna just hand you the Big Ten championship. You're going to have to come out there and execute. That's what got a lot of these Ohio State fans thinking that they was just going to automatically win the game. They thought the NCAA and Harbaugh being suspended was going to hand them the game. Well, we've got it. JJ's mid. Okay. You forgot your quarterback is super mid, super crappy under pressure, and he's a Charlie Brown. You forgot that. Tried to remind them in my pregame video, but they didn't want to listen. Ain't nobody handing you nothing. That's why I told them. Nobody is saving y'all this year. Buckeye Scoop, Nevada Buck. They done went back to Michigan breaking news out of Michigan. Yeah, talk about breaking news while we break y'all face in. While y'all licking y'all wounds. Talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Michigan is under NCAA violation, and yet we done made Ohio State program go in shambles. Hello. We're getting investigated, and yet Ohio State program is in shambles. I'm watching their stuff. I watch their stuff. That's my happy time after the game when we win. Oh, I'm binge watching Ohio State podcasts. I already watch them. Now I'm binge watching even the lower level ones that I don't really pay attention to. I'm binge watching their misery. Woo. I binge watching. I be so full of their misery giving me life. It's like I'm floating around here, baby. I'm floating. Well, but we're getting investigated, but yet their program is in shambles. Should Ryan Day stay? Ryan Day's got to make some changes on defense. He's calling too passive a game. He's too passive. Devin Brown, Kyle McCord, we got to get somebody in the transfer portal. These guys aren't good enough. Jim Knowles, you're calling a passive game. We don't know what you do. Last year you were too aggressive. This year you're passive. Man, where do we go from here? Should we fire Ryan Day? He's still a good coach. What should we do? Them boys in shambles. They in shambles. They don't know what to do. And I'm loving it. I'm McDonald's. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You know, because they talk too much stuff. They just talk too much. And I know that's not saying much coming from me. Because I've been talking trash for all year. For the last 2 years. But, you know, what bothers me is they just assumed that we were going to lose because of all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? They just assumed that we were going to lose. Buckeye Scoop and some of these other ones. JJ's mid. You know, talking about my quarterback, man. Talk about my quarterback. It just bothers, and I know it has to bother everybody else too. When a team with a super mid quarterback talks about our quarterback, our Big Ten championship quarterback. JJ has never lost a regular season game, and y'all calling our quarterback mid? You wild. Y'all had a first round pick at quarterback and still couldn't. Y'all had a top 5 pick at quarterback and still couldn't beat us. And y'all calling our quarterback mid? That's crazy. You calling our quarterback mid that has never lost a regular season game. but Michigan fans are delusional. Our quarterback has never lost a regular season game. Crazy. Only game he lost was in the playoff as a starter. He said, name my score for the Iowa game. I mean, I said 31-14 when I was making my other video, my live, but then I forgot how bad Iowa's offense is. So, honestly, I could see 31-7. That's being generous, honestly. But if I'm Michigan, you got two ways you could go about this. You got two ways you could go about this if you're Michigan. In Iowa's defense, it's gonna be hard to score 45 or something. That defense ain't finna just. I doubt if they just, check out. But they offense so bad, and the way we play on defense, we could probably get up 2 pick sixes or something. So 45-0 could be a possibility. You know what I'm saying? It could be a possibility. But the two things, you could either try to put up as many points as possible to impress the playoff committee to get that number 1 seed. That's one way. And Jim Harbaugh's back, so this is probably the one you're going to get. Once you're up 21, once you're up about 24 or more, you're just like, all right, let's get out of here. Or once you're up 21, you're like, all right, let's get out of here. And you just run that ball every time and just milk the clock and, just get ready to celebrate and prepare for the playoff. That's more likely because it's Harbaugh. Now, if it was Urban Meyer, he probably going to run that score up because he's trying to impress the committee to get that number 1 spot. You know what I'm saying? That's what, those are the two thoughts in that game. You got to understand. Come on, bro. Do you want to go back and forth with me on this type of stuff? Michigan averages more with Harbaugh. We played our toughest teams with Sharon Moore. So his scoring margin is going to be different. Sharon Moore had to play Penn State, Maryland, and Ohio State. So Sharon Moore being the coach is going to skew the scores. My point about Harbaugh is Harbaugh doesn't care how much he wins by. So why? It's the Big Ten championship, bro. We don't need any injuries. If we win this game 28-7, and JJ and the boys are on the sideline at halftime. Beautiful. I don't care about scoring 45. You know what I'm saying? But if we try to score 45 and somebody gets hurt, I'm going to be pissed off. I don't care about scoring 45-0 and then we're risking somebody to get hurt. I want to be up and out of this game. I don't care how much we win it by. I'm worried about being healthy. I'm worried about Blake. I'm worried about Donovan. I'm worried about JJ. I'm worried about Roman. I'm worried about Chris Jenkins. I'm worried about Mason Graham. I'm worried about Junior Colson. I'm worried about Rod Moore. I'm worried about Will Johnson. That's what I'm worried about. I ain't worried about I was abysmal. So we know we're going to beat them. So I'm not worried about we got to blow them out as much as possible. Nah, we got to get my star players and my starters on the bench. That's what I'm worried about. That's all we need this year is a key injury. That's the last thing we need at this point. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thought process. Trying to get to this playoff healthy. That loss to TCU, we forget that Blake was hurt. Mike Morris didn't really play because we couldn't get a pass rush. He was our best pass rusher. You know what I'm saying? Blake was out. Then Will Johnson got hurt in the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thought process. I'm just trying to get to this playoff healthy. And of course, somebody could get hurt in practice. Somebody can always get hurt in practice, but, I ain't trying to have somebody get hurt trying to impress the committee against Iowa. You know what I'm saying? That's my thought process. I want this team healthy. Same way, we didn't have Blake last year against Ohio State, and we pulled it off, but it bit us in the playoff because Donovan Edwards, he's just not a bell cow. He's a game breaker. He had that one game breaking run. Against TCU, his game breaking run was the first play. From then on, it was a wrap for him pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So we got that one big play out of him, and then Donovan was non-existent for most of the rest of that game. You know what I'm saying? Just being real. But just imagine if we had Blake. It's a big difference. So that's my thought process. Trying to get out of there healthy, bro. Trying to get out of there healthy. Because the way, especially Blake is so crucial to our team and what we do. Blake is just so crucial to it. We gotta have him. You know, he is just too crucial to what we want to do and what we got going on, because nobody else, none of our other backs are that shifty and that patient. Let's talk about this for a second. That move when Zinter got hurt, that move that Blake put on Ohio State. Woo-wee. Can I have this dance? Woo-wee. That boy cooking. To set up the way he set that up with that juke. Woo-wee, that was nasty. And you couldn't, watching it the first time, watching it live, you couldn't appreciate what he did. But on that replay, woo-wee, the way he set that run up, Sonny Styles, and I ain't gonna front, I forgot to mention him, but Sonny Styles, he's a big, long, rangy dude. He kind of had me nervous a little bit, like before you know, doing my pregame and stuff. I didn't mention him, but he's a long, fast, big type of dude. One of those freak of nature dudes that can play safety or linebacker. But Michigan exposed him in coverage. And playing around the line of scrimmage. Blake put that move on him and said, "See ya. You ain't that yet. See ya. You ain't that yet. You ain't that yet, boy." Woo, that was nasty. That was nasty. And you got dude, no, Blake doesn't scare anybody. Zach Smith, Blake doesn't scare anybody. Tell that to Sonny Styles on the ground, looking like this. Tell that to Sonny Styles. Tell that to Ohio State defense when we milk that 7 minutes off the clock. Tell that to them. It's easy to say that when you on a podcast, you know, with Chris and just talking, but you know, tell that to them defenders out there when he hitting them with with their dick in the dirt. Tell them that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So we just want the players. Also, that Khalil Mullins, I'd like to see Khalil Mullins get some carries. Because who was that? Against Maryland, he had some good carries. I don't know if his arm is hurt or something. I don't know what's going on. You know, we never really know what's going on. But honestly, I'd like to see him get some carries, because when he gets carries, he seems to do well. I know some people are like, when he gets carries, he does well. Well, that was the one TCU game. That was the TCU game. I mean, everybody had something bad happen for them in that game. It seems like, you know what I'm saying? It feels like everybody had something bad for them, but I wouldn't mind seeing Khalil Mullins, and we take care of Iowa and we get this break. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a bigger role, whether that's blocking more for Donovan when he's in there, or just in general, because early in the season it looked like Khalil Mullins was going to take Donovan's a lot of Donovan's carries, but then he got injured, and then he kind of fell back down, and now he just gets the block. Yeah, Mullins is a big dude, and he runs hard. And he's got that patience that I like, that you need. It's not even that I like it. In our scheme, you have to have that patience. To me, the thing about Donovan this year is it just seems like he's lost. I think he's pressing it too much, and I think his vision just isn't as good as it was last year. Like he just doesn't, you know, when you're a player, it's like you can see where the hole should be, and you can visualize the hole and how to set up the blocks. It's like Donovan sees it too late. Like this year, he just sees it too late. And then, you know, that's what happens. If you see it too late and you hesitate for a second, it just messes it up. Like it has to be so smooth. Like, you know, breaking off big runs, unless it's just a garbage team and the offensive line just is manhandling dudes and it's just wide open. If it's not that, going against good teams, you have to see it and visualize what's about to happen pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like Blake. Like what Blake did on that 20-yard run. He knew, all right, let me do a stutter juke. Let me juke inside to set up the hole. I know the hole's going to be there. But the way Ohio State's players fill gaps, I have to set them up to get them out of the gap. And so Blake gets the ball, hits him with that juke move inside. Ohio State's defense shifts over a little bit. They go for the juke just slightly. All it has to be is slightly. Then he jukes back into the hole and explodes through it. Pause. I caught that one. Explodes through it. Sonny Styles. See, when Sonny Styles shifted over, it put him too out of position to get Blake. You know what I'm saying? He got an arm on him, but Blake was running too hard. See ya. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about running back, and you have to visualize it, anticipate it, set up those blocks, and sometimes set up your moves. You got to set up your move. So that's the thing, and that's why Donovan somewhat struggles. You know, he's just not seeing it this year. He don't know how to set up his block. He's not setting his blocks up very well this year, and he's just not seeing it and anticipating it like that. You know, that's just it is what it is. When Roman, I didn't touch on this, so let me talk about it. Roman Wilson and the Ohio State DBs, Denzel Burke, Josh Proctor, they were going at it all game. They were going at it all game. All game that those dudes were about to fight. So in the press conference, that's why you got that from Roman. You know what I'm saying? Because them dudes were ready to scrap. Roman seems to always get into it with those dudes. But I like that. That means he's a dog. He ain't just gonna lay down. You know what I'm saying? You need those dudes. Roman ain't a big dude. It ain't about being big. It's about, boy, you ain't finna talk to me any type of way. You ain't finna think you finna dog me or nothing like that. On this field, we going at it. I don't care what your size is, none of that. We going at it on this field. And you bet not say nothing stupid to make me get even more locked in. Oh, you talking? Let's get it. Let's get it. You talking? Let's get it. Oh, you guaranteed a win? All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about, you know. That's Roman's energy. Them dudes look like they were gonna fight all game. If you noticed them on the screen, he was getting locked up with Proctor and Denzel Burke all game. They were going back and forth after the play. It's just good they didn't get any penalties or anything like that, you know, because when you get one of those unsportsmanlike conducts or whatever after the play, those are always big. Those are game breakers, you know. But those dudes made plays. Roman and Cornelius being reliable. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's death by 1,000 cuts. We just got dudes, we count on everybody. Oh yeah, Samaj on my mama. Samaj is wild for that. He a dog. He a dog though, you know. He only had one chance to make a play, you know. Denzel Burke blew up his screen, but you know, he talking bad about them dudes after the game. But you need dudes like that. You need them dudes. You need them dudes. That's just a fact. You need dudes like that. You know? Yeah, you need those dudes, but you know, whether it was Cornelius made some big catches in that game. He made some big catches in that game. I know it's not going to blow up the stat sheet, but he made some big catches, and so did Roman. But I told Ohio State fans, whatever, told everybody, Ohio State linebackers in coverage, and Colson, Loveland, AJ Barner, they killed them. They killed them, you know. I tried to tell them. They just assumed I was just talking. They just assumed I'm just talking, you know. And I don't know why they be doing that. Because when I make my more than any other video, my Ohio State versus Michigan pregame videos, they're not, I'm not giving you a score prediction or anything. They're strictly about what the other team is going to try to do to each other and how to stop it. You know, what we might see. That's all it's about. What are Ohio State's weaknesses? What are their strengths? What might they try to do? What's Michigan's weaknesses? What's Michigan's strengths? What they might do to Ohio State, and how Ohio State is going to try to stop it. That's all the videos are about. Hey, they get in the comments mad. I told them, Michigan needs to stop their run, stop Travion Henderson for getting big plays, and make Kyle McCord be great. If you stop Travion Henderson, Emeka Ibuka and Harrison are gonna kill you guys in Stover. Okay. It doesn't matter even if they do, even if they did, it don't matter, because that's the game. That's our best chance to win, is putting it in Kyle McCord's hands. So it don't matter even if they did do that, that was our best chance to win. We can't let you still get your throws to Marvin Harrison, because he's going to eat, and then have Travion Henderson breaking off long runs. Now we're done. We don't have a chance. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it. But, oh well, tried to tell you. Oh well. On to the Big Ten Championship. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about the defense. The defense did a very good job, putting hands on Marvin Harrison, bracketing him, whether that was cover 2, whatever else, they did a very good job. The D-line getting pressure when they needed to, and that's part of the reason why Ryan Day didn't want to put the game in Kyle McCord's hands, because he knows our D-line is going to bring those pressures. You know what I'm saying? And when he's pressured, Kyle McCord, he just starts throwing it up. He just starts and hoping for the best. He closing his eyes and hoping for the best. But the thing that I like about our defense this year is how many defensive backs are getting to play and contribute. Like, you never know who's going to be out there at DB. You know, linebacker, we know who's going to be out there. Defensive line, you know who's going to be out there. But at corner and safety, it might be Rod Moore, it could be Makari Page, it could be Quinn Johnson, it could be Keon Saab or Saab, however you say it. You know, Sainer Steele, Will Johnson, Josh Wallace, McBurrows, Pollard. Like, you don't know who's going to be out there. But they're all Amari and Walker, but they're all playing at a pretty high level right now because them dudes have gotten a lot of reps. So they're all, and a lot of them were injured early. McBurrows was hurt. What's his name? I just said his name. Amari and Walker. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those dudes, some of those dudes were hurt, but now in the secondary, they're all playing pretty well where they're kind of interchangeable besides Sainer Steele, Will Johnson, Rod Moore. But the rest of them are kind of interchangeable. Like, they're all kind of playing pretty well, which is good for next year. A lot of those young dudes, hopefully, I believe McBurrows will be back. Amari Walker should be ready to do his thing by next year, so you can have him, Will Johnson. Rod Moore's probably gone. Makari's gone, but you got Zeke Berry. Quinn Johnson's probably gone. Well, I think he has to leave. But you got Zeke Berry and you got Keon Saab ready to step in at safety. They should be ready to go. Or McBurrows at safety. I don't know what they're going to do with him. But you'll have with the secondary should be very good next year. Honestly. The worry is linebacker. I don't know if Hausman was hurt or what happened with him, but I guess we'll have to wait and see during the Big Ten Championship. But we're thin at linebacker, and you would have thought we'd have somebody that's able to contribute besides our top three. You know, that bothers me. That why can't we get good linebackers? Like, I don't get it. Like, why can't we get good linebackers now? You know what I'm saying? Every time Jimmy Rolder gets in the game for the last 2 years, I've been like, what is he doing in there? Because he always makes a mistake. Mike Barrett isn't even a linebacker, really. I mean, he is now, of course. You know what I'm saying? But he's a converted safety left over from the Viper, Don Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how we haven't gotten a stud linebacker to step in yet. Not to take their jobs, but ready to take over when Junior Colson leaves and Mike Barrett leaves. You know what I'm saying? We got Hausman. He was a transfer. I'm talking about a regular recruit that's a highly touted linebacker, ready to take over that middle linebacker and ready to give us 115, 120 tackles. 130 tackles. I want a linebacker that's dogging. I want 125 at least tackles out of my middle linebacker. You know what I'm saying? I want a Devin Bush. Josh Ross gave us 100 and some tackles. I think he had 115 last time he was there. I want my David Harris. You know what I'm saying? I want a linebacker that's prototypical and flies around and is gonna hit. I'm tired of Junior Colson, bro. I'm tired of this dude. I'm on the causeway. I don't know if the connection is getting bad or what, but the traffic is backed up on this water. But yeah, I want a linebacker that can read and react, and he's on top of it. Calm down behind me, bro. Don't it just bother you when you in stop and go traffic and you got an idiot behind you, like it's like traffic is just opening up? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, it just kills me. But yeah, I just want that line. Like, Junior Colson just bothers me, bro. And the problem with him is when you get into playoff competition, he can really cause you to lose a game. No front, no cap, no nothing. This is a hard truth right here. When you get into playoff competition, Georgia, even TCU, because TCU ran it on us, and he had a lot of mistakes. This is for real. This is real talk for you today on this one. Junior Colson will keep a team in the game because they're going to target him. They're going to notice those mistakes he's making in the run game and in coverage because he second guesses himself, and they will exploit that dude. I'm just going to keep it real. Now, and this is the problem with it, and this is why it becomes fool's gold, because you'll look at the stats and he'll have 10 tackles. But if you go back and watch play after play, you'll see that he's made a bunch of mistakes that have cost you. So I hope over when we beat Iowa and over this month, he just please start reacting faster, bro. Like, if this dude was to play like he really understood the game, like he really read and reacted and just played with no hesitation, I know my job, I see him, I'm doing it, I'm go. Hey, this defense will be something serious. This defense would take the next step to being if Junior Colson was to play like a second team All-American or third team All-American, not just Big Ten, this defense would truly be great. It just is what it is. If he played like that middle linebacker that is just that dude, his defense would be great. And we would really punish teams because they wouldn't be able to run. They wouldn't be able to get those runs that they get because he took a bad angle. He hesitated. He didn't fill the gap. It is what it is. I hate to get on him like that, but it had to be said because it's the truth. This traffic's so slow, I got time to read the comments. This traffic's so slow, I got time to read the comments on while driving. This is insane. But yeah, Junior Colson, you know, that's I hate to be hard on him, but it's the truth. You know, we need him to play like that dude at middle linebacker. We just do. If not, it can hold that defense back. And that's not to say he doesn't play good. We just need him to take that next step, because the goal ain't to win the Big Ten champ. The goal isn't just to win the Big Ten championship. The goal is to win a national championship now. And you're a junior. You're a junior. So you're a junior and you're a junior Colson. See what I did there? Got out of here. But, you know, the goal is to win the championship. So, you know, we got to take it up a notch. We need you to be that guy. You know, he's just naturally gifted, you know, big, fast. He just don't see the game. He just don't see the game that good. Some people see the game well. Like I can see a play developing and where the quarterback wants to go with the ball. And then take it away. You know what I'm saying? Some people just see the game better than others. Junior Colson, he just don't see the game well. You know? Besides, and I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna stop getting on Junior Colson. These are all facts though. They are facts. And he comes up soft when he's hidden a lot of the times. Like he waits for the offensive player to attack him instead of him attacking them. You want to be the hammer, not the nail. I ain't gonna front. Travion Henderson came through and Travion Henderson came through running hard, and that boy Junior Colson was waiting on him, and Travion, boom. They showed Junior Colson after the play. Junior Colson was like, boy, you better go out there and hit. Stop waiting, my brother. Lil Travion trying to make himself some money and get this win for Ohio State. And honestly, I gained a lot. I gained some respect for Travion Henderson in that game because I thought when he came back in, he was running hard. He was running hard. You know, I gained some respect for him. But the defense, that defensive secondary and what Jesse Minter does with all those coverages, Michigan has the most complex defensive scheme in the country, hands down. Hey, you right about that. Hey, Mikey said, don't worry, I got your back. And lit up Henderson. Yeah, Mikey lit him up. Wasn't it refreshing to see though Michigan actually hitting? Wasn't that refreshing to see Mikey coming up hitting, Quentin Johnson out there flipping dude, laying that wood? That was so refreshing to see actual big hits. Man, that was good to see. Like these boys out there hitting. Whoa! You know, that was refreshing to see. Because we don't get to see it. We don't see it much. Because honestly, it's not easy to hit like that. Not those type of hits. And let's be happy they let them play. Because, you know, they'll try to review it, targeting and all that. I wish you would calm down behind me. This is stop and go traffic, lady. Like, there's obviously an accident or something. I don't know why you just, as soon as I move up an inch, here you go. But yeah, it was refreshing to see those hits, man. Because, you know, I'm always talking about us not hitting, us, you know, arm tackling and stuff and tackling soft. So it was good to see some actual hits. Let them dudes have it. You know what I'm saying? You got your opportunity to decleat somebody. In this day and age, you best take opportunity. Would you calm down? I swear this lady is gonna run into the back of me because she's too stupid to realize that this is stop and go traffic. There ain't nowhere to go. What are you in such a rush for? If wherever you going, you're gonna be late now. Just calm down. Like, this is real stop and go dead traffic. I got time to read comments. Exactly. Those hits gave you goosebumps, and they were perfect hits. Perfect hits. You can't ask for nothing better on those. Them dudes lighten them up. Big time hits in the game. You know? But and you know another problem is, and this isn't our problem, Ohio State is truly soft. They're soft. You know, and it's because of Ryan Day. Somehow he's soft. He don't really look soft. I mean, I guess that's your opinion, whether you think he looks soft or whatever. But he's soft, you know. And you saw it in the pregame huddle when he was in the circle, in the huddle with the whole team around him, and he was doing that. He was doing that. He was doing that. And then we've seen it, like he really didn't know how to get his team up and hype, because he knew Michigan is tough. So he's like, I got to bring out some fire and some physicality. Like, I got to bring that out in him. And you can tell that he's never really done it. And that's why over the years, when he's gotten his players, over the years, the team has just gotten softer and softer and softer. Because he's let's go. Boy, if you don't get out of here, coach, he probably deflated his team just from watching him. Like, coach, this ain't you. What Ryan Day should do, this is what he, instead of trying to do that himself, because that's not him, just find your strength and conditioning coach, or an offensive line coach, somebody that is them. They're a tough, hard-nosed dude, and you let them hype up the team. Because, bro, that ain't you, dog. That ain't you. If you could have paid me a bag, and I might have came out there and got them dudes hype. It would have had to be a big bag. It would have had to been a cool million. Y'all would have had to forgive me. I need this bread. I would have got them boys hyper than that. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Come on. I don't know what that was. Now, what gets even worse and is more soft is that little offensive huddle that they do, where Kyle McCord is doing his little fade away. And then they come out there doing some of the most weirdest, cringiest dancing I've ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have actually found the football version of a circle jerk. We have found it. That is a circle jerk on the football field. Ohio State's little pregame dance routine with the players. That is the most cringe and softest thing I've ever seen on a football field. That team they soft. And that's why Roman lit them up like that, because just look, what are y'all doing? Are y'all playing football? That little dance circle thing is like something you see, like you would see basketball players do. Because, you know, most basketball players, they're softer, you know? They ain't out there hidden, you know? But that little dance thing, that is pure soft. And it gets cringier. I make fun of these dudes, so I find this stuff, and I've been roasting them all year. I've been putting soft music behind it, girls and all this type of stuff. I've been cooking these dudes all year. I've been on top of it. So I've been seeing these these videos of them, and I've been cooking them all year. I've been cooking them. I've been cooking these. I've been cooking these dudes all year, man. I've been cooking these dudes all year, man. I've been seeing all this stuff, and I've been putting soft music to it and feminine music. I've been putting feminine music to it and homosexual songs. I've been cooking these dudes all year, boy. So I've been on top of it being soft all year. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy that their coaches haven't noticed that how soft this stuff is. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Hey, you can't say I ain't been on top of cooking these dudes, boy. I've been hammering these dudes all year, man. But you know, the young dudes, they just dance weird now. You know what I'm saying? These young 18, 19, 20-year-olds, they dance weird. They be, you know, doing all this stuff and all this stuff. Like, bro, what the hell? But that's the new generation. You know, we can't really talk about them, or we're the old guys in the room, you know, because that's they generation. That's what's cool now, you know. Oh yeah, the targetings are crazy, you know. Yeah, they weird. I mean, but they would say we were weird, you know. It is what it is, you know. You know, that's just what it is. It's weird. It's definitely weird, but you can't become that old guy. And some of it is weird and you have to call it out, but you know, that's just the different generations. But that circle jerk, the dance of circle jerk, it's just soft. You know, I mean, it's their problem that Ryan Day has let them become soft, because he should have noticed, like, what's going on. Somebody should have noticed this. Brian Hartline, somebody, this soft offensive dance off. And you know, I put music behind it. To make it even more funnier. But honestly, the Michigan one, I might post it again and not put the music, because it's even cringier without the music behind it. You know, I put Cartman behind it singing Poker Face. I put Cartman behind it singing Poker Face, which is funny, but it's like some of the dudes in the little circle jerk, I think they're starting to realize that it's stupid, so they're like, go Kyle, go Kyle, go Mayan, go Marvin, go. Like, what are y'all football players? Like, what is this? This is bad. So they done got soft. I mean, it is what it is, but it's a reflection on Ryan Day. That's what it is. He's soft. And Michigan, what Harbaugh has done to him the last 3 years has made him second guess what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, go back to 2018, 2019, when, I mean, that was Urban and then Ryan Day. And then, those years, just the confidence he had in everything he was doing. You know, whether it was run, whether it was pass, just supreme confidence. Whether it was Justin Fields, you know, or Who was the other one? I don't know. It's been so long. It's been so long ago since we lost. I'm starting to forget some of them players on their team. But it was just so confident. It was confidence in what he did. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew how to exploit Michigan's defense. Now he don't know if he wants to pass or run. He's just confused. All right, we're gonna run it down their throat. We're tough. We're tough. These guys are tough. You know what I'm saying? Bro, tough guys don't have to say that they're tough. Everybody just knows it. Tough teams, tough hard-nosed coaches, they don't have to say that they tough because everybody knows it. So you never hear Michigan saying, we're tough. They don't have to. We're tough and physical. You'll never hear Michigan say that. They don't have to. Everybody already knows it. But we're tough. This is a tough team. We're tough. If you have to do that, you ain't that. Everybody knows it. Exactly. If I had a son, I wouldn't let him do half of the stuff they're doing now. It's an attack on masculinity in this day and age. But that's a story for another day and probably another YouTube page. I mean, I could get into that stuff, but I don't want to do that. But yeah, if you're tough, you don't have to say it. People know it because they've seen you. They've seen you been tough. You know what I'm saying? That's anything. But Ryan Day, he's having a real what's the word? Personality, I can't think of the word. But identity crisis. He's having a real identity crisis right now. Even Jim Knowles. Boy, we got these folks having to go to talk to a psychiatrist. I thought we were tougher. I thought I wanted to see, people been calling me soft. So I've been trying to be tougher and doing tough things, but it just doesn't feel right. And somewhere along the line, I feel like I've lost myself, and I don't know who I am anymore. Should we bring Jim Knowles in also? Yeah, bring Jim in. And Jim Knowles is like, yeah, I thought this job was going to be a cakewalk, but I feel it too. I feel like I'm losing myself too. I came in last year, I was aggressive. And then this year, I said I'm going to dial it back. I'm going to put a safety. I'm going to put a middle safety most of the time. And they still ran it down my throat. They still ran it down my throat. They out-executed us. So I dialed it back too much. They ran it for 7 minutes straight. 7 minutes off the clock. I should have blitzed more. Got them boys in psychotherapy. Busters. Got them boys in psychotherapy. They don't know what to do. That's just what's happening. This ain't me. I mean, it's funny. Of course, I'm gonna make fun of it, but I ain't making it up. That's just what's happening. That's just what's happened to Ryan Day and Jim Knowles too. He overcompensated. That boy was so scared of Donovan going 60 again that he refused to blitz when he needed to. Boy, don't get me clouded on somebody. I'll clown him. You feel me? But that's what happened to him. He overcompensated. He didn't want to see Donovan. He didn't want to see Donovan going 60 again. I'm not gonna blitz. I'm not gonna blitz. No, I'm not. I'm gonna keep a safety high. I'm not gonna blitz. Meanwhile, we eating up clock. We eating up clock. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I know Ryan Day probably looking like, are you gonna blitz these guys, or we need to get off the field? And looking up there at Jim Knowles in the box, like, bro, what are you doing? We need to run blitz these dudes. Jim Knowles like, I'm not gonna do it. The Don. I'm not gonna do it. The Don. No, I ain't blitzing. No. Meanwhile, 6 minutes off the clock, 7 minutes off the clock. We done ate up the clock on that boy. we done killed 7 minutes and this man ain't blitzed not one time. He's back there. He's playing passive. You freaking idiot. We're about to end the game on you. You freaking bonehead. Everybody up there playing passive like, bro, you don't realize this is the game? This last drive that Michigan has the ball, we're about to eat up every passive. Oh, no. I ain't letting that happen again. I ain't letting Donovan Edwards go no 70 again. I ain't letting it. No, sir. I don't care what happened. I ain't letting that happen to me again. Hey, Jim Knowles up in the box say, I don't care if we lose. I ain't letting him go 70 again. I don't care if we lose. I ain't letting that happen again. But yeah, that's what's happened to them. Michigan has really made Ryan Day and Jim Knowles have identity crisis. They don't know what's going on no more. They gonna change some more stuff. They don't know who they're gonna be anymore. You know what I'm saying? They just don't know. Next year is gonna be interesting. You know, because I'm talking about the game. I'm not talking about the season in general, but it's gonna be interesting to see because Michigan's losing a lot of players. Now we've played a lot of young players, which will help, but we're losing a lot of players. Ohio State is losing a lot of players. So it's going to be interesting to see when we play them what exactly both teams look like. Who are the new key contributors? You know, who's the quarterbacks? Because Ohio State fans are done with Kyle McCord. And we don't know if JJ is going to go pro or not. So it's going to be interesting to see who are the starting quarterbacks. You know, who are the key contributors, you know, at receiver, because we're losing Roman, we're losing Cornelius. Oh, this is, you know, so that'll be interesting to see. One thing that I did notice after the game and I didn't like, I think Darius Clemens is gone. I think Darius Clemens is gone. As soon as this season is over, I think he's gone. I saw a video after the game where, you know, we rush the field. Everybody rushes the field and the players are walking, you know, shaking hands and celebrating. Darius Clemens looked like, I don't give a dang. I didn't see it. Maybe it was just that clip that I saw him. Maybe he was looking for his parents or something, but he looked like, whatever. I don't care. I ain't get to play, so who cares? So, I mean, next year is honestly his year. If he can be consistent, but from what I saw, Darius Clemens is probably gone. Just from that one clip. I could be wrong. It was just a little clip. But no emotion. We just won the game. No emotion. No celebrating. No nothing. Just like, I'm out of here. I'm going to locker room change. I ain't celebrating nothing. I ain't get to play barely. Man, I'm out of here. Yeah. And, you know, for whatever reason, whether it was injuries, whether it was he's just not consistent, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Whether it's injuries or him just not being consistent or whatever. But I think he's gone. And I hate that because I think next year is his time to shine, honestly. Because it'll be Samaj and Tyler Morris and Darius. And unless somebody else just shoots up, you know what I'm saying? It's your time to shine. Yeah, he doesn't. And the reason you don't get opportunities in the game is because you're not doing something in practice. You're not doing. He has to be. He's inconsistent in practice, and I heard this in the offseason that he was inconsistent in practice. So that's why he doesn't get opportunities in game. I've seen him get in to block, and he'll make a mistake blocking. So it is what it is, you know. And that's why I try not to buy into this hype. This preseason hype. Like when we get these big recruits, that hype, I try not to buy into it because it's just hype. This is college. This ain't high school no more. It's just hype. You know, I have to see it carry over onto the field. You know, I think the last player I got hype about was Blake Corum, because I saw, and the reason why I got hype about Blake is I saw him putting in the work, because Blake was recruited during the pandemic year. You can't practice. This is when he's still in high school. They couldn't practice or anything. This dude is doing squat cleans up a hill on his own. I said, oh, this dude gonna be a beast, because I see him putting in the work on his own to be great. So I ain't got to worry about nothing else, because he's gonna have his body in the best shape. He's gonna put in the work to be great. And when you put in the work, football is, you know, you got to have your body on point. But if you've got your body in the best physical peak position, you know, if you got your body at its peak, and you know the plays, you know what to do, oh, you're gonna be something nice. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I bought into Blake. I might repost that video when I first talked about him 3-4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get that body and you putting that work in, you know, you can usually count that this dude is gonna do big things. But for most players, but that's running back's a little bit easier, I would say, because and Blake's patient. Blake is just good. I mean, he's just a baller. But you know, receiver, I'm not sure why this dude hasn't. He's definitely this year more than any year was the bigger chance to contribute. Like Samaj is a freshman, right? He's a freshman, isn't he? And he's got the chance to contribute. Ain't no excuse for Darius Clemens. Darius Clemens should be contributed. Let's see. But yeah, I think Darius is gone. It is what it is. You know. It is what it is. Man, this season has flown by. This live been an hour and a half, because this I don't know what happened on the expressway. It's got to be a bad accident, but this is crazy. But this season has flown by. Hasn't this been a blast, y'all? Like, let's just take a deep breath and enjoy this. Hasn't this been a blast these last 2 years? These last 3 years, even though we lost in the playoff, just having undefeated regular seasons, beating Ohio State, giving Michigan State the business besides 2021 with, Kenneth Walker the third, Besides that, hasn't these seasons just been refreshing? You know what I'm saying? Hasn't it felt so good that you can just trust your team for the most part? Life is good. That's a good one. I like that. Walter. Shout out to Walter. Out here giving gems. Life is good. We blessed out here. Hopefully everybody finances is where you can enjoy life and not be stressing. And life is good. You ain't got too many relationship problems. I ain't gonna lie, I done had some relationship problems these last couple weeks. It's been some BS, but besides that, life is good. I haven't really bought into the Stalions. I didn't get too wrapped up in the Stalions stuff because I knew wasn't nobody saving them this year. You feel me? I knew wasn't nobody saving Ohio State and them teams this year, so I didn't really let it bother me too much. But hasn't it been just running through the regular season and just clowning Ohio State, clowning Penn State, we're clowning everybody in the Big Ten. They just been clowning everybody. And they mad. Look, all Ohio State fans are saying now is some of their wins, these wins are going to be vacated anyway. Nobody really cares because we all watch the games. Y'all can have whatever y'all have to make y'all feel better, but we just out here enjoying winning football. We ain't been losing no regular season loss. What regular season loss? I don't know what you're talking about. Jesus. I don't know how a regular season loss feels anymore. I kind of can remember when we lost to Michigan State, but I really can't. I imagine I was mad. I imagine I was hot. Maybe I should go back and watch my video from that day. I imagine I was mad about it, but I just don't know how it feels. Regular season loss? I don't know what that is. Honestly. Hey, you ain't lying. That's my problem right now. Messing with these chicks. Doing too much. You ain't never lied, bro. Because everything else in my life is all in order. But these women, these doggone women, boy. But yeah, regular season losses, I don't know how it feels. Honestly, this year I barely felt nervous in any of these games. Like, I barely had that nervous feeling. I had it at the end of the Ohio State game. Because I started to think, man, what if we lose by one? Somehow they scored, we lose by one in the final minute to these dudes. Boy, you talk about devastating loss. And Ohio State fans is gonna troll me relentlessly. Please, somebody make a play. Please. I need somebody to make a play. But besides that, I really haven't felt that way. Exactly. Who wants him then, bro? Oh, you preaching. Who is that? Antoine Johnson, my brother. You preaching. Because you're definitely right. They do not be wanting to act right until the end. And then who wants? You ain't lying, boy. But yeah, normally during the season I have about 3 games that have given me a heart attack, and I really didn't have that. You know, it's never. I don't think we haven't trailed. We haven't trailed in the second half. So even though the games are in reach for some of these teams, you know, they gotta tie it up or something, or get a lead, and we've never trailed in the second half this year. So it's hard to really feel pressure when you're still up. You still winning. So how am I supposed to really feel pressure? Because as soon as I feel the pressure, the defense makes a play. Okay, the offense gives it back to the other team. The defense makes another play. Okay, the offense gives it back. We still didn't do nothing. The defense makes another play. So it's like we haven't had the chance. I haven't felt it. You know what I'm saying? I've had the little twinge of like, man, all right, y'all, this is close now. But it's never been like, oh God, we're gonna lose this game. Oh boy, we're gonna lose. Yep, we're gonna lose. I've never felt that real heartbreaking, like, oh God, what's happening to my team? My hopes and my dreams, our goals are about to go down the drain. Please. I haven't felt that this year. I haven't felt it at all, really at all. Not even close to how I felt it some other years. So that's just been that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Rod Moore stepped up, because if they would have got one more first down, boy, I would have felt it. Because I ain't gonna front. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm almost to my destination finally, and I'm gonna get off of here. I ain't gonna front. When Julian Fleming caught that ball, and Josh Wallace punched it out. Shout out to Josh Wallace for that punch out. And they called it a catch. I was like, oh boy. Here we go. But it didn't set in. It didn't set in though. Because the next play, Rod Moore intercepted it. You get what I'm saying? So like, you know, when we get in these moments and, you know, I'm starting to worry, it never really gets the chance to set in, because the offense or the defense makes a play, and then game over pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was Maryland, whether it was Penn State, you know what I'm saying? So it never really gets to that real pressure-packed moment, like, you know what I'm saying? It never really gets to that point. So the last 2 regular seasons, I really haven't felt that. The closest game last year in the regular season, what was it, Maryland? Iowa? And those really weren't even those moments. Boy, I ain't felt no real pressure in the regular season in so long. I don't know how it feels. I don't know. I have to go to Ohio State page or a Penn State page and see how it feels to, you know, lose a regular season game and be frustrated, and, you know, this coach can't get it done, man. The play calling is horrible, man. What's going on? We don't know. We don't know how it feels. So, oh God, I shouldn't have did that. But yeah, that's all. Illinois, you're right. Illinois was the last time. Good one. That was the last time I felt it. And that was pressure packed. Okay. So I do remember now, because I was terrified. So that's all I got for this one. It's time to get chopped this weekend, boy. I'm looking rough. Scruff McGruff. I'm Scruff McGruff. But that's all I got for this one, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.